Congratulations! You just finished your very first job interview and... Oh, wait. Just hang on a second. Hello?
Good news, Spook. You just got the job.
Really? That was quick, considering I just did an interview like, an hour ago?
We here at McBurger really value you as an asset to the company, and we're severely understaffed. Come on in at 8 a.m. and don't forget your non-slip shoes.
Wow. A job that hires immediately? What could possibly go wrong? Retail jobs are single-handedly the most underestimated career paths in demand. The customers, the long hours, the co-workers, it's all so underestimated. As someone who worked in retail for a majority of my career, it's a never-ending nightmare. No one understands what we go through. And instead of explaining myself, I'm gonna let the most recent episode of the amazing digital circus do it for me. If you've never worked in fast food before, just watch this and you'll save yourself the trouble.
Oh, what can I get for you today? Okay,
Right off the bat, we start with this. This is the one thing that annoys me when I'm taking orders. I'll have my headset on or be at the front counter, and when a customer orders their food, I just can't understand them. I'll ask them to repeat themselves and they'll just mumble and like, I can't hear you. Can you speak up, please? I've been told I'm soft-spoken, but even then, when I go into work, I make sure to speak louder for the customer's sake. But the customer never speaks up for my sake, and I'm just like Pomni right here, like, okay, this is what you ordered, and I'm gonna repeat your order to you, and if anything is wrong, just let me know. And then immediately after that, Jack says, ugh, I hate this guy, which, mood. But then Gangle pops up and says, we can't say that in front of the customers, but when the store closes, then we can say it, which is also realistic. But in real life, once a customer left the store or the window, I would just turn to my coworker and they would just be like, man, that customer was a bitch. And it's so funny because they just tell it like it is. And FYI, we don't do this to 95% of the customers, just the really rude and annoying ones.
Excuse me. Yeah, little jester, I'd like to order the stupid burger. Last time I ordered it here, they forgot to add the sauce that makes you stupid. Don't forget the sauce.
is that a thing we have?
Yes, I order it all the time.
Yes, of course, we have this specific item that I've never seen before in my entire time working here. There will always be that one customer that swears that there's an item on the menu. I used to work at Taco Bell, and I was ringing up this one lady at the drive-thru, and she asked for a specific sauce. Granted, we had that sauce, but it got removed in 2016. So for the past 8 years, that specific sauce has never returned. Until recently when they came up with that decades menu, I think, but I don't work there anymore, so don't ask me. So I informed her. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I'm pretty sure we discontinued that sauce, but are you by chance asking about the avocado salsa packet? And she said, no, I'm talking about this sauce. I get it all the time. And I just mentally facepalmed because I know for sure we didn't have that sauce. So I walk over to my shift lead and I'm like, hey, we don't have that one sauce, do we? Because a customer kept asking for it and I said we don't have it. She was like, yeah, we definitely don't have that anymore. My shift lead goes up to the window and politely explains to the customer about the situation. And I had kind of zoned out for like 2 minutes doing drinks or whatever, but then all of a sudden, the customer gets verbally aggressive, asked for her money back, calls my shift lead a bitch, and then drives off only to later come back and complain to another shift lead. Like, I can't make this up. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. Fortunately though, Ragatha hears Pomni from the back and attempts to whip up a stupid burger, only for her to get the burger sauce in her eye and get completely stoned for the rest of the episode. And I know what you're asking. Spook, this can't be something that happens. You're not allowed to be under the influence while working. Yes, you are absolutely right, but no one cares.
Gangle, can you help Ragatha? I think she Huff paint or something.
Huffing paint and not waiting until a designated break?
Everywhere I worked, people would either be high, drunk, or both while on the clock. And I have to admit, I have gone into work tipsy a couple of times, but I never drink on the job. I was too scared to. But that doesn't mean other people aren't. And they represent it so well with Ragatha here, the slurred words, the laziness, making God knows what behind the counter, saying things out of the ordinary. It just hits too close. Shortly after that, Gango confronts Jax and asks him to scrub the bathrooms, but he declines. Then he gets grabbed by the hands of Satan and dragged into a training room. But of course, to the eyes of your manager, that's your work ethic declining. Now, I was gonna make this part a little longer, but then Gangle says this.
Now I know what you're thinking. I don't want a career in fast food. I want to be a comic artist and eventually launch my own manga-inspired webcomic. And it's cool to have dreams, but you also need to remember that they're completely unrealistic, and you need to stop trying.
Oh my god, I did not expect this episode to call me out like that. When you're a kid and say you want to grow up to be like a firefighter or something, a lot of adults kind of just giggle at you and hope for the best. But I don't think what they're responding with is laughter. I think it's concealed anger and depression because they had that dream and it died when they realized, damn, I'm gonna be a corporate slave for the rest of my life. And it's actually quite sad because nowadays, dreams can't truly become reality unless you die trying to earn as much money as possible or have massive connections with successful people. One more thing I wanted to mention were the little side scenes that occurred when Jax would look up at the clock, only to realize that it's moving at an unbearable pace.
Hey, Gango! I think the clock's broken.
Is it broken? Or are we the broken ones?
Ah, great.
How long has this shift really gone on for? 6 hours? 8? 24? A week? A year? Does time even move in here? Will we ever go home? Will we ever achieve our dreams? Oh, wait. Yeah, that clock's broken.
Yeah, we all had that one broken clock upper management never wanted to spend money fixing. At the end of his shift, Jax can't take any more of this and clocks out. Walking out of the restaurant, he immediately sighs. He then goes into his car and headbutts the steering wheel. This is the reality of working in retail and just working in general. You spend most of your day dealing with customers, breaking your back, and sometimes you don't even get a lunch break. If I had to sum up working in retail with one word, it would be anguish. Because in all honesty, is this really something you want to do for the rest of your life? Clocking in at the early hours of dawn and clocking out way past your bedtime? Cleaning up after people who know better than to leave a mess on the floor? Being overstimulated by talking to people you may never see again? It's all so exhausting, and you feel stuck, because sooner or later, bills are going to be due. Medication has to be paid for. You might have people to take care of. And what do you get in return? A measly $11 an hour. It's not worth it. There have been many times where I would wake up dreading going to work and having to deal with bullshit for half the day. And there have been way too many times where I would cry in the bathroom at my job and have to suck it up and put a mask back on. And that's what I truly feel what this episode is about. Masking. Pretending to be someone you're not for the sake of everyone, or just for the sake of perceiving as normal. But when you finally feel like you're not trying to please people, you feel free. And, okay, this is getting too deep. Let's wrap this up. Overall, there were more things in this episode I could talk about, like customers sharing too much personal info or control-freak coworkers, but these were the main points I wanted to cover. In the end, working sucks, and I think Glitch made this episode pretty relatable. If you like this content, feel free to look at, the only other video essay on this channel, and our comic dubs. I'm Spook, this is Emerald Media, and I'll see you next time. Bye!